71-year-old woman who defies her age is one of Russia's most travelled cyclists. She's crossed the world's biggest country over a dozen times on her bike and is now back in the saddle, setting a course for Europe. RT's Irina Galushko reports from Western Russia.
She took up biking 20 years ago, right after her 50th birthday. A physical education teacher, Yulia Mikhalyuk, said she had to do something after her retirement. So she learned to ride a bicycle in a week and a half. These days, 71-year-old Yulia feels comfortable enough on a bike to ride right across Russia, a feat she's accomplished no less than 16 times, averaging almost a trip a year, traversing the world's biggest country.
Every day from dusk till dawn, I'm cycling. I do take rest stops, but they used to last an hour or two, and now they're only half an hour. I rest while I eat and then get back on the wheels again.
This year, she's heading in a different direction. Yulia is riding her bike from Tver to Paris to commemorate the march of the Russian army in its defeat of Napoleon in 1812. The only thing she had to conquer was a visa.
Let's face it, for most of us, taking a mile-long walk is already an accomplishment, and a 4,500-kilometer bike ride, forget about it. But Yulia says she runs 10 kilometers every morning in winter, and as soon as the snow melts, she's back on her bike. So this trip should really be a piece of cake.
I often get asked, why don't I take anyone along with me? But how can I? Would you come with me? I'm not sure you'll be able to pull through. And I'm sure I will. I never go to see a doctor. I never get sick. In the 17 years I've been doing this, I only take a first aid kit, some bandages and antiseptic.
Back home in Tver, Yulia is somewhat of a celebrity. Local politicians believe her exceptional physical shape and enthusiasm are just what people of all ages need in this day and age of drive-thrus, fast food, traffic jams and TV marathons.
She personifies the sport of cycling in our city. We're putting a lot of effort into developing the sport here. Bicycle parking spaces, bike routes, and basically want to turn Tver into the bicycle capital of the country. And she sets a great example.
But Yulia's biggest supporter is her husband, also a physical education instructor. And he believes his wife is an example hard to follow.
Not everyone can lead this lifestyle. You have to be brave and determined and possess enormous willpower. She has it, but a lot of people don't.
Yulia estimates it will take her around 2 months to get all the way to Paris across Europe. She intends to sleep in a tent on the roadside, just as she's done dozens of times before.
I camped out in the wild for the first 3 years, in villages, by a river or a pond. One such time a man approached me and said, "I was observing you for a long time. Everyone's leaving and you are staying for the night on the beach." He said, "Come along to our house. Don't be scared, I live with a wife." I told him, I am not afraid of the devil himself.
So if you happen to see a sprightly lady on a bike as you travel across Europe in your car this summer, do say hello, but don't offer a lift. She will most certainly refuse it. Irina Galushko, RT, Tver region.